This winter, AlphaTauri transformed into Visa Cash App RB. But hold on tight because Red Bull might not keep the team for long. Helmut Marko's recent comments have sent shockwaves through the F1 world. In a recent interview, he hinted at a possible sale of the Faenza-based team. What does this mean for the future of Visa Cash App RB? Is it going to be sold or not? Are big changes on the horizon? Let's dive into this video today to uncover the truth behind Marko's words and the fate of Visa Cash App RB. For about a year and a half, rumors have been circulating that Red Bull's sister team might be sold. Many interested buyers have been spotted, and bids were reportedly made last season as well. A Czech investor showed a lot of interest but didn't get a response. Helmut Marko from AlphaTauri, now called Visa Cash App RB, made it clear that the team was not up for sale. But now, less than 6 months later, things seem to have changed. German media are once again suggesting that the team, currently ranked 6th in the Constructors' Championship, might be up for sale. Marko hasn't confirmed or denied anything but mentioned some important points. He said, "There are many parties interested, but ultimately, it's up to the shareholders to decide. The price for the team is high, and nothing has been decided yet." Marko, who was firm in his stance back in November, is now treading cautiously with his words. There's been an internal power struggle within Red Bull, with the major shareholder from Thailand on one side and the Austrian division on the other. A lot has changed in just 6 months, which could also affect Red Bull's plans for Visa Cash App RB. Regarding Andretti last year, there were reports that AlphaTauri turned down an offer of around $800 million, possibly from Andretti. If Red Bull is indeed considering selling its junior team, Andretti, possibly in partnership with General Motors, might make a new offer. In fact, in late January, the FIA informed Andretti that their bid to enter Formula One as the 11th team had been rejected. Andretti buying out Visa Cash App RB emerges as best two-in-one solution to F1 Grid's big Red Bull problem. Moving the aerodynamics department of Red Bull's sister team to Milton Keynes caused quite a stir in the F1 world. Many teams were upset at the idea of Visa Cash App RB getting access to Red Bull's superior technology before the 2024 season. We've already seen the impact of this move, with the VCARB-01 showing similarities to the Red Bull chassis. However, motorsports Italian journalists Franco Nugnes and Antonio Ghini have proposed a solution that could also help Andretti Autosport enter F1. As we know, Andretti Autosport faced rejection from F1 in their attempts to join the sport. Some felt that team bosses influenced FOM's decision to deny them entry. But now, there's another issue emerging with Visa Cash App RB's apparent heavy reliance on Red Bull, as seen in their livery launch. Nugnes and Ghini criticized the similarities between the VCARB-01 and the RB19. However, Ghini offered a solution to this potential problem for the upcoming season. Nugnes pointed out that Red Bull has limited time in the wind tunnel, while Visa Cash App RB has more than 1,000 hours and uses the same tunnel. He said, "They go to the same tunnel, and the car model is practically the same. It's open information. They'll have a huge advantage." He added, "I think there will be a lot of upset people in the paddock, that's for sure." Ghini chimed in with a solution that could help Andretti and their F1 aspirations. He suggested, "The best thing for everyone is to support Andretti so they can buy the racing bulls. This way they solve the problem." This solution could also address Red Bull's rumored desire to sell their sister team, easing concerns for other teams while providing a direct path for Andretti into F1. It's all just talk for now, but if the VCARB-01 becomes highly competitive after moving to Milton Keynes, it could become a big issue for the entire grid and the sport. However, some team bosses like Frederic Vasseur are trusting the FIA to keep this increased reliance on Czech. Frederic Vasseur puts his faith in the FIA to manage the Red Bull Visa Cash App RB reliability. The move of the Faenza-based team to Milton Keynes worried many team bosses. They were concerned that the two teams sharing information could give their sister team an advantage on the grid. At the same time, Red Bull could benefit from sharing the wind tunnel, using the data to make the most of their limited wind tunnel time, as Nugnes pointed out. However, Ferrari's boss trusts the FIA to make sure Red Bull doesn't get an unfair advantage. During an interview, he showed his confidence in the FIA, saying, "It's true what they are doing together with Red Bull is a strange situation with two teams owned by the same company, but the FIA has been able to manage it so far, and I am sure they will be able to in the future." Is Visa Cash App RB the worst team in F1? The team, often referred to as RB, actually stands for Racing Bulls, but sadly it remains as initials only. There's a suggestion that using RB might detract from the appeal of the Visa Cash App, the team's sponsor. Internally, the team reportedly calls themselves VCARB, which isn't much better and might upset the financial folks at Visa. Outside the team, the response has been mocking. Some are even calling them cash cows as an alternative. F1 deserves better. Teams have traditionally been associated with their sponsors, like Mercedes-AMG Petronas F1 or Aston Martin Aramco F1. But this feels different. It's just a corporate title, without any connection to the team's racing identity. Commentators may struggle, especially when talking about drivers like Daniel Ricciardo and Yuki Tsunoda, who bring a lot of energy to the grid. Using the new name might drain the excitement out of their commentary. What about the fans? Young fans who look up to the drivers will now have to call themselves fans of Visa Cash App RB, not the iconic names like Lotus, Ferrari, Tyrrell, Brabham, McLaren, Mercedes, or even Red Bull, but Visa Cash App RB. And let's not even think about what the merchandise might look like. This raises the question of how F1 management allowed this to happen without finding a better solution. The sport wants to attract new, younger fans. It aims to be both accessible and glamorous. But what could be more off-putting to new fans than a corporate name that lacks any emotional connection and feels as exciting as doing online banking? This is coming from Red Bull, a brand known for its edgy, imaginative image in F1, the one that used to break the rules but now finds itself stuck in its own corporate bubble. Amidst the disapproval and ridicule, some serious questions are arising, particularly regarding the closer relationship between the Visa Cash App RB team and Red Bull's main squad. Design staff is relocating from Faenza to Red Bull's headquarters in Milton Keynes. The previously independent team has announced plans to take advantage of the regulations to purchase ready-made parts from Red Bull under their new team principal, Laurent Mekies. Helmut Marko, the Red Bull Motorsport advisor, said they would follow Red Bull racing as closely as the regulations allow. The perception of a Red Bull B team emerging with the ability to mimic Red Bull's designs has unsettled competitors. At the recent launch of the new McLaren livery, the team's chief executive, Zak Brown, expressed his clear unease and frustration with the situation. He redirected questions to emphasize his concerns, stating, "I believe it's a serious issue for the fairness of the sport, for the fans. That's why it's pretty much not allowed in any other major sport." He added, "I'd like to see us, as an industry, focus on that before it gets to a level where Formula One once was, very out of balance because people are playing by the rules, but a different set of rules." This issue will likely continue to be discussed as the season progresses, causing great concern for team principals in the paddock. Outside the paddock, perhaps everyone will quietly return to referring to the team as Minardi. It may not bring in money, but at least it avoids any involuntary frustration. So what do you think of the F1 team Visa Cash App RB? Comment below and subscribe for more.